A warm welcome from Graz, Austria. Thank you so much for having me. I hope you're having a great afternoon. I will spend the next 20 minutes or so creating an idea of good times. I think this is needed because optimism is a key component of a successful and uplifting economy, and optimism is pretty much exactly what we need right today. So rather than delivering a crisis talk, this should be a pep talk. And don't get me wrong, I see the problems which are around us, but I also see the opportunities, and so should you. Because this is actually our time. This is the time of the innovators. This is the time of those people who have dreams, ideas, and visions to be set and brought into reality. So I have great hopes for you, as well as for our whole community, which is a community throughout the whole Southeastern European region. And I hope that I will be able to create some dynamism and some optimism within all of you. I'm trying to do so in my direct surrounding as well. Actually, when things are tough, I tend to look at things I tend to look at reality from a bit of a bird-eye perspective. And since I work with the European Space Agency, I decided to look at our current situation symbolically from space. You know, from space there is no demarcation lines, there is no borders, there is very little limitations visible on Earth. So we are, and this is the whole argument this presentation is going to be about, we are in a very good situation when it comes to innovation. Things may be challenging, but they're good for you, they're good for us. Why is that so? Because actually it's one of the most critical assets of startups that they are able to adopt to change with agility and with a dynamism which other companies can't. We can re-steer, we can change course, we can adopt our business models like no one else. So this is actually one of the best times for us, because while the big industry is crumbling, we can be flourishing, and we will. So in times of disruption, it is actually it's the time of the disruptors. We need to be aware of that, and while everybody complains, we need to work hard, because this is currently the time where we can get the competitive advantage, which is going to make a difference in the future. And as already mentioned, one of the biggest assets of startups is the agility to adopt very quickly to new situations and to create, within an optimistic environment, a strong resilience, and as a consequence, an appreciation of change, because change is our friend. This is not empty, hollow phrases. Change is the biggest friend of innovators like you and me. And like this little guy here is adopting to its environment, changing its color, we need to know where we want to go, we need to know our course, and we need to be quick at evading obstacles in order to reach our aims. So, in order to reach aims, you need to know where you want to go. And one of the most critical parts, apart from being able to adopt to new circumstances quickly, one of the most important elements of successful innovators and startups is the absolute energy to commit to a larger goal, and to move visions step by step through strong work into reality. And we need to be aware that capital, which is absolutely key for us, and I really want to strengthen that view. Capital is just a form of converted energy. So in a lack of capital, we have the opportunity to stay in control of our operation by investing more energy. We need to be very careful with our energy, with our power, with our inner selves. We need to stay clean and healthy, because this is what we call our capital. There's outside capital from investors, and there's our energy, and together they form something stronger. So I want to mention again, capital is just a converted form of energy. And what you see here as well on this slide, which I like a lot, is the idea that sometimes it's enough to paint a vision. We don't always need to build rockets like the billionaires do. Sometimes a little kid with a strong vision is exactly what we need to kind of frame within ourselves. And it is the kid, the childish, experimental behavior, which is, in my opinion, the strongest asset we have. Sometimes, I'm repeating myself, painting a rocket on the floor is stronger than building one, because it reflects the idea, the vision of making a different planet. And even if it's a space shuttle which doesn't exist anymore, and even if it's just dreaming to be flying to space like this kid, in my opinion, does, this is actually sometimes the strongest we can have. Our capability to dream and to play, to stay playful, and to nourish the kid within ourselves. And finally, energy is just one way to be converted into capital. And as I already mentioned at the beginning of my presentation, I'm very strongly interacting with the European Space Agency, developing startups and innovation drivers for the agency. And what we need to be beyond the capability of being visionary players, energetically strong and still a bit childish, what we always need to embrace is the power of cooperation. Because actually what space can teach us is that very few things can be reached without cooperating. We tend to be taught to fight and compete against each other from early childhood on. This is not in particular bad, but what is bad about this is that we tend not to learn to cooperate. At school, we learn to do our own stuff, not to help others at exams, and then all at once, cooperation starts being key. We need to, like little kids who play with each other and don't fight each other, we need to act as adults a bit childish again as well. Because cooperation for us, for our innovation drive, is absolutely critically important, because only together, and this is especially in times of climate change and many other challenges, this is absolutely important, that only together, by working together, can we innovate into a better world. Because innovating in a way that we create a better world is actually a business model. We need to be aware that in the past, endangering the environment through economic activities paid off. This is not the case anymore. Things have changed, and innovations, and I will come back to that, in the green sector, etc., are step by step taking up speed as well. What I, when working with startups and when consulting startups, realized to be absolutely of highest importance is the need to address the serious and the big problems. The solutions can be a mix and match of small structures, but only if you address the big problems, you get a serious competitive advantage insofar as there is less competition in these issues. People tend not to see and tend not to dare to go for the big stuff, so we need to, because that's where we can be strong. And I really want to drive that point home, that only in the big problem areas do we have less competition, and as a consequence the opportunity to lead customers and ourselves to new markets and success. Addressing big problems does not always mean that you can't repurpose solutions, that you can't repurpose business models, that you can't repurpose ideas and visions which were realized before. Actually, the idea and the need to repurpose and recycle is, in my opinion, one of the strongest drivers of innovation. And I might come back to that very briefly. That what you see here is a photovoltaic plant. Photovoltaics were developed for the space sector in order to power satellites. Today, they power our houses, our cars, and many other things. And it's a perfect example of a repurposed invention, put into different areas of innovation. And Google did not invent the search algorithm. It combined and created a better search algorithm. Tesla did not invent the electric car. It repurposed many elements which were around to create the best car. Henry Ford did not invent the car, neither did he invent mass production, neither did he invent the conveyor belt. But by combining the conveyor belt together with a standardized car building process, he invented mass production and thereby created an incredible innovation drive. So we need to be capable. SpaceX did not invent the rocket. It invented a very smart business model, and the whole launcher which we see, the Falcon series, actually is a combination of existing space technologies put into one strong product, which is actually having a competitive advantage. So repurpose and recycle is absolutely important. And apart from mixing and matching technologies, what is absolutely paramount as well is to get the timing right, to seize opportunities. And again, if you don't get it right at the first shot, to really be resilient and stay on the message. And I'd like to think that this little goldfish is jumping out of confinement into the free water by taking the right decision at the right time when the tide is in, so it can swim away. Let's hope it's not jumping into somewhere onto a desk. So really seizing opportunities and being resilient if it doesn't work out at the first time distinguishes the winners from those who don't make it. And it's really critical to aim high, take action, and if it doesn't work out, to bounce back strongly. What also is important for innovators who are already working on an idea is to look for help. This can be friends, this can be institutions such as the one I'm leading. There is strong incubators, and I really recommend to join an incubator in order to get a quicker acceleration of your idea and your business. There's incubators all over the European Union. They have different qualities. There's very good incubators in the region, and my company is about to build incubation interaction also in Bosnia and Herzegovina. But there is strong players around you. You can contact us. We will connect you with colleagues, or you can also work with us. But go look for incubation, because this is actually evading to make the mistakes which may cost you your business. Actually, everybody is currently, certainly most of you are watching me from your home offices. Basically, I'm up to a certain degree also sending this presentation from a home office-like structure. But we need to be aware that it's possible to see things coming. And ideas and new things, they don't touch down on the planet all at once. And it's those players who see things coming, who have a bit of a competitive and time-wise advantage in order to potentially create a successful business. And when it comes to digital transformation, it looks like as if, everything, like the whole move towards a different office structure happened from one day to another. But actually, the digital transformation, like the one we are currently witnessing due to the virological situation, is more than 50 years old. The digital transformation which we live through today was actually triggered by Douglas Engelbart in the year 1968 when he gave the first online presentation. So that gives you an idea of 50 years of innovation, kind of step-by-step innovation into something bigger. Things are increasingly speeding up, innovation cycles are speeding up, but we need to be aware that it's possible to see things coming, and those who have an open eye and those who have a visionary character and who are a bit playful, who keep their creativity and openness fully alive, the stuff which is normal for kids, which gets lost in adults, those players can see things coming, and as a consequence they will be the better innovators. For those who have no idea yet, because until now I was talking a bit to those innovators who are already working on their idea, but I also like to work with those who have an innovative entrepreneurial mindset, who are creative, who are open-minded, and who want to kind of become independent from classic employment, but who have no idea. No idea of a business model, no idea of a solution. And while most incubators actually only talk to those who are already working on a project, I also want to talk to those who are entrepreneurial minds and who currently have no area to work in. I strongly recommend you to look at one of the next 5 industries, or maybe not industries, but areas of interest, because there can be the solutions which can be detected with an open mind and where you can really make your business case. This is basically in the sector of agriculture, food and nutrition. Look at this. This is one of the critical key industries, and there is business to be done for people like you and me, for the innovators. There is low carbon farming. There is food security. There is precision farming, satellite supported precision farming. There is the smart distribution of goods. There is one absolute critical element which is currently making a difference to all of us and which will be making an even bigger difference in the future, which is education. And the use of technology will be part of the future of education. The element of energy and environment will be not only due to climate change, but also due to humanitarian and due to moral reasons, absolutely paramount in the upcoming years. And there is good business to be made, and there is good solutions to implement. There is money to be earned here, and there is while it's important to earn money, there is also the planet to be saved. This is a very, very nice area, which is actually together with mobility, which I'm going to talk about soon, for me, the most important one. There's also, of course, today we are much more aware of that. There is the health sector, which is a very, very strong opportunity, and you need to look into the different sectors within the health sector itself in order to potentially identify interesting businesses. And there is for me, one of the strongest and most important sectors, which is the mobility area. And I think we need to think mobility more sustainably, but also faster. This is a ultrasonic, supersonic jet. We need to find ways to travel and to move more sustainably, but faster than we do today. All these sectors are most strongly coined by considerations of sustainability. They need to be coined by considerations of sustainability, because actually sustainability and environmental protection has become a sales factor. It is a unique sales point to be sustainable today, and this is lovely, this is great, and it's actually even good, as already mentioned, from a moral perspective. And I really want to drive home that point, the responsibility to protect the environment for future generations is something that pays off for ourselves as human beings, but also for ourselves as business people. And I really like the idea of the European Space Agency having developed the motto for its activities, which is coined by the phrase "for the better of humanity." Why do we shoot satellites into space in order to monitor our planet for the better of humanity? Why does the European Space Agency support startups? For the better of humanity. This is not a hollow phrase. This is actually, the fact that I'm talking to you today is very much the outcome and the result of a successful space agency's strategy and motto, which is every single day followed, maybe not every day successfully, but every day it's being tried to do so. And we need to really keep the larger picture in our mind when starting our businesses or when running our businesses. And I'm often being asked what it takes to develop a startup, and those people who give you a recipe to that question, who have a few very clear answers, you do this and you'll get that, are basically frauds. They lie to you. They want to show you that they are good, but they're not. Because there's far too many different business models, far too many markets, far too many products and services, which all need tailored solutions to give a proper recipe-like answer. But I can give you a basically 5-step logic, which is important to me and which works for me. It's you know, you need to see a problem. You need to identify a problem. It helps us to be creative. It helps us to be open-minded. It helps us to be childlike perceivers of the world. And you need to see. You need to think of a solution for that problem. You need to team up with others in order to implement, in order to create a solution which really lasts. And it really helps if there is a market for what you've solved. And this is all doable. These 4 steps, you know, problem, solution, team, market. This is doable. But what really kills 99% of the startups which start with a good solution is flaws in the execution. Mostly things fail in the team and in the execution, and it's one big thing moving together. Execution and team are the key factors for successful or for the lack of success when it comes to startups. Always look at the team and the execution. There is dodgy startups which are in control of the team and the execution, which win, while good solutions fail because of these elements not being covered completely. One thing which I really want to stress at the pretty much at the end of my presentation is that when you do everything right, when you find the right path to these 5 steps, the most challenging element of our innovative careers starts, which is when success arrives. Our characters, our personal capabilities of handling success are very much challenged. We need to be aware that with success and with the quality of our implementation, with potential money flowing into our accounts, the most complex part of our existence is to be addressed, which is staying humble as human beings, not taking ourselves too important, not letting our egos grow too much. We need to be aware that success is the result of a successfully led life and not the other way around. It's biographies which were battered. It's biographies which were going through trouble and through challenges. It is countries which were going through challenges, such as many within our region, which are the ideal breeding ground, in a very positive manner, breeding ground for innovative and game-changing technologies and services. I strongly believe that the region which I'm talking to at the moment, together with in the larger cooperation of many countries, will be making a huge difference in the future, and my company will be trying hard to be part of that innovation drive, which I'm sure will be kindled. And I would, I mentioned many times that I've been working for 4 years now with the European Space Agency, with satellite-based, Earth observation-based startups, and I keep interacting with players from space. And what I like so much about, and this is like, if you work down on Earth or up in the sky, it does not matter. This principle always works. What I personally learned from interacting with astronauts and rocket scientists is a certain mindset which I try to nourish and develop within myself every single day. And this mindset is very much coined by the idea that while our bodies are bound by gravity, every single day our bodies are bound by gravity, our minds and our souls are not. Our minds and our souls are gravity-free. They are free to do whatever we want. And we need to address this, and we need to make something out of this. Thank you so much. Have a lovely day.